Hello once again, everyone. It's Jeff from New York, and we are back in New Orleans in the French Quarter, and today we're going to take a leisurely stroll down Royal Street, or as the locals call it, Roll Street. We're starting here at the intersection of Esplanade and Royal Street. Esplanade will be covered in another video on this channel, and we're going to head towards Canal Street, which I guess is about a mile and a half down. You'll notice it when you see when we turn the corner here and see skyscrapers in the background. That's actually Canal Street. Royal Street can be described as French Quarter flair meets Southern charm. It's a shopper's paradise, and there's a lot of antique shops and fine art galleries, and it's just a block and yet a world away from the party on Bourbon Street. Royal is a very long street. It actually goes far beyond the French Quarter. It's a shopping and dining destination, and it goes from Canal Street to Esplanade, like I said, in the French Quarter, but then it goes to the residential Marigny and Bywater neighborhoods all the way to the industrial canal of New Orleans. Just a reminder, this is Cray Cray the Crawfish from Louisiana. He shows up somewhere in all my New Orleans videos, so please help me find him. Be the first to spot Cray Cray in this video and leave a comment below with the timestamp you spotted him, and you'll get a shout out on an upcoming video on this channel. Besides the shopping and antique shops and fine dining on Royal Street, you'll find some taverns and bars, and they're a far cry from the ones a block away on Bourbon Street. It's more of a refined crowd where you can enjoy some good company and a really good cocktail here. I love old Volkswagen Beetles, and my very first stick shift was a Volkswagen Beetle back in my college days. Very much like this one, only yellow. Her name was Gretchen. Royal Street, like most streets in the French Quarter, is very colorful, and although the buildings are attached, they're very different and unique. Each one has either a different color or a different style. One thing all the buildings in the French Quarter have in common, though, is that wrought iron. It's everywhere, from balconies to support to accessories. Wrought iron is everywhere in this area. Royal also seems to be very lush with potted plants, ferns and ivy being the most popular. And while they have difficulty growing in other areas of the country or need a lot of attention, they just seem to grow wild here and thrive on the heat and humidity. Richard Simmons, the fitness guru of the 80s and 90s, actually grew up as a child in the French Quarter, and I believe that's the elementary school he went to. Hey there, horse. Why the long face? Ba-dum-bum-ps. A few nice shops and galleries on the right, and some residential buildings on the left. The yellow building on the right is the Andrew Jackson Hotel. I was going to stop in at their courtyard, but it's closed off, unfortunately, by this gate. Lots of courtyards in the French Quarter, and some of the prettiest are here on Royal Street. There seems to be one across the street. Let's go check it out. This courtyard with the trumpeter in front is actually the Café Emilie. Trumpeter, is that a word? I just asked the internet, what do you call a person that plays a trumpet? And the response was Louis Armstrong. Not the response I was looking for. And again, every building in the French Quarter is unique, but you can't take away the fact that it's uniquely French Quarter. No, I don't. In the few yards we just walked, we passed a gallery, a tavern, a jewelry shop, and a coffee cafe. Where else but on Royal Street can you do that in just a few steps? One of my favorite contemporary artists is George Rodrigue. He's a local here in New Orleans, or Louisiana, I should say. And this is one of my favorite galleries on Royal Street. Of course, I came on a day that it's closed. Rodrigue's most popular series is, of course, the Blue Dog series. Check out that piano. I always wanted to purchase a Rodrigue original, and back in the 80s and 90s, it was within my reach, but I just didn't want to do it at that point, and since then he's passed, and it's totally out of my range right now. So for now, I have to put a Rodrigue coffee table book on my Amazon wish list, and someday I will own that and appreciate his artwork in my living room. That's St. Louis Cathedral in the background, which means we're very close to Jackson Square, which is another video on this channel. Between this park and St. Louis Cathedral is Pirates Alley, which is notorious for being a hangout in the past for pirates, as well as a place where slaves were bought and sold. Some of this is true, some of it isn't. It depends on who you talk to in the area. And here we have a tribute to Whitney. The singer's very good, not quite Whitney caliber, but hey, she's a lot more healthier. So, antique shops on Royal Street are extremely strict as far as no video, no cameras, and I'm surprised they don't even blindfold you on the way in. But I really wanted to show you guys the inside of one because, well, you're my peeps. So I'm going to go undercover here and show you a little snippet of what the inside of a Royal Street antique shop looks like. Bear in mind, I always try to respect the no video rules. But what do they say? No victim, no crime. That was the rare exception.
I've got all the baby that one man can't claim. That's how you put it out there.
This is the Court of Two Sisters, a fine dining establishment here on Royal Street with a entrance also on Bourbon Street, which is a block away. Somewhat touristy and overpriced, but all the good nonetheless. All the good nonetheless. I have to use that more when describing restaurants. As we get closer to Canal Street, Royal Street becomes more retail and less residential. Coming up on the left is the Omni Royal Orleans. It's a very popular upscale hotel. During one of my visits to New Orleans, I stayed in a suite there, and they have a fantastic dining room. Coming up on the right at the intersection, you're going to see a foot, actually a leg. Don't be alarmed, it's not a dead body, it's just a street performer. On the left here, behind these trees, is the Louisiana Supreme Court building, one of the newest buildings in the French Quarter. It was built in 1908. And as far as the quarter is concerned, that is brand spanking new. Across the street in the pink building is the fine dining restaurant Brennan's. You may have heard of it. They're known for their breakfast and in particular Eggs Benedict. The Brennan family is well known in these parts. They're a very successful restaurant family. They own several restaurants in this area in New Orleans, including Commander's Palace, which is one of the best restaurants in the world according to several critics. That's also the kitchen where Emeril Lagasse got his start. Ka-ching! Don't forget your credit cards. And there's another shot of the Louisiana Supreme Courthouse.
How are you?
That's Cafe Beignet across the street. I think they're giving the Cafe du Monde some competition. They have several shops in the area. The only thing they don't have with regards to competition is a rich history, which Cafe du Monde definitely has. On the left, we have Royal Praline Shop, just because the French Quarter doesn't have enough praline shops. So I stopped into this hot sauce shop, and they have everything out for samples with some crackers and toast, so you can try every hot sauce imaginable. While there, I noticed there were some stoners in the shop trying just about everything in sight. Wow, this place has some pretty cool wall art. All I can say is those stoners are going to have a very busy bathroom tomorrow in their hotel room. And across the street on the left, we have the Hotel Monteleone, which is a very historic, popular upscale hotel. And once again, I've stayed here as well. One of the best known features of this hotel is the carousel bar, which slowly rotates as you enjoy your adult libation. If the rotating bar doesn't get you dizzy, the $20 cocktail will. A quick shout out to Duke of Haas, a new subscriber, and Wise Malik, a old favorite, who found some hidden mascots in my videos, including Cray Cray in these New Orleans videos, as well as Cabby in the New York videos, and Mitzi the Rubber Ducky Showgirl in the Las Vegas videos. Good job, guys. Keep watching out for those hidden mascots. I'm including this last clip on Royal Street not because of the building, but because of the audio in the background. It's a rather loud conversation between a couple, and it's regarding what may or may not happen tonight, all depending upon whether the man takes a shower. God, I love this town. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, ask some questions, and most importantly, subscribe by clicking on the button on the left. You can visit all of my New York videos by clicking on the top right, or check out my videos on other favorite places to visit by clicking on the bottom right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around the city.